Has Wizards of the Coast lost their minds? The Outlaws of Thunder Junction spoilers? Well, it's insanity. The more spoilers I see from the Thunder Junction expansion, the more I start to think Wizards of the Coast really is on this epic struggle of power creep. Welcome back everyone, MTG Moxman here, and thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. A reminder guys, if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bell and help this channel get closer to that grand goal of 50,000 subscribers. So what are we talking about? Well, I'm going to share with you guys some of the spoilers from the Thunder Junction upcoming set, but when I look at how these cards can be utilized, when I start talking about them, you'll get a better understanding. But the more I'm watching the cards and looking at the diverse nature of what they're offering players, you can see how these cards are going to connect to Commander, how they're meant to go into Standard and Pioneer, how some cards are even going to find their way into formats like Pauper. It's insane to think they've managed to cram those two sets together, the one that of course failed like the Epilogue boosters, and they've twisted something out that looks like it's kind of overpowered compared to something that murders at Karlov Manor. Bankruptcy at Karlov Manor at this point. We'll talk about that later in the week. But I'm looking at the cards. I'm looking at how I think I would use them. And since I know how brutal players can be, it's only going to get worse. You know what? We've wasted enough time. Let's take a look at these cards. So I guess you ain't yella after all. You showed up at the OK Corral ready to do a roundup. Guys, this is High Noon. This is an enchantment card that's a rare. It is 1 white, 1 generic, and it says each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Now the idea that you are able to slow down somebody's control deck, counter spell deck, follow through with, it's got a secondary ability that says for 1 red and 4 generic, you can sacrifice High Noon to deal 5 damage to any target. Do you realize and recognize how much mana ramp is in this game right now? Being able to have 4 of these in your deck means you can literally blow people up before they can really do stuff. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's possible right now, but you're going to be slowing them down by slowing down what they can and can't do each turn. They're going to have to be that much more picky. I mean, this card to me screams power level. It screams in the standard rotating format that this thing is going to be used all the time in any control deck that doesn't want you going off on multiple spells. Mixing this thing in is going to just be insane for players. Now at least the next card, the Assimilation Aegis, is at least a mythic, not a rare. This thing is 1 blue, 1 white, 1 generic artifact equipment with equip 2. It says, when Assimilation Aegis enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target creature until the Assimilation Aegis leaves the battlefield. But here's the kicker. Okay, you can exile a creature, but look at the secondary ability. Whenever Assimilation Aegis becomes attached to a creature, for as long as Assimilation Aegis remains attached to it, that creature becomes a copy of the creature that it exiled. Think about all the insane creatures you can get mid-game, or even having this on the battlefield will make your opponents have to second guess what they're going to put out on the battlefield and what they're going to add to the array of choices that you as the defending and attacking players are going to have options against. This thing to me just screams at players to really reconsider what you're going to do unless you have an answer to the Assimilation Aegis. But not only that, you can have multiple of this in your deck. You can attach this to a token creature. It just blows my mind that this thing even exists. Now we jump over to Neutralize the Guards. This is an instant and it's an uncommon. For 1 black and 2 generic, this thing says, creatures target opponent controls get -1/-1 until end of turn. So you're dealing with all these tokens that exist. You're getting rid of all kinds of weaker creatures, or if you've damaged a creature at the end of a turn, you blow the thing up. But no, it doesn't end there. It's already a great card, but it doesn't end there. It also lets you surveil too. It can let you go and put crazy things into your graveyard, or let you know that there's 2 cards that are both junk coming up that you need to put into your graveyard so you can top draw something amazing later. The versatility of this card should not be underestimated. No, it's not going to be a $20 card, but it's going to be played. You should expect to see it in Standard, and you never know where a card like this is going to pop up later on in case of the fun little commander deck that you never expected to do something crazy. Stuff like this messes with you. I love the card. I like the idea of it existing. I'm glad there's choices, but this thing just has double abilities that make it just seem so disgustingly powerful to me. Maybe it's just me, but no, it's not. It's everyone. This card is just powerful. Now we jump over to blue. And here is Shifting Grift. This thing is a 2 blue, but it also has Spree, which means you can choose more than one thing depending on your situation. As a late game, this thing is going to be so destructive to people, I don't think they realize. Now, this thing says here, as an uncommon, you can exchange control of 2 target creatures. Okay. That's just for 2 extra mana. So for 4 mana, you're doing a little control thing. My token for your 10/10. I like that. Now you can also add another 1 mana and exchange control of 2 target artifacts. Oh, you can take my clue token thing and I'm going to take some crazy artifact creature you control. That's insane. And for another one, you can exchange control of 2 enchantments. I think I'll take your ley line and you can have, whatever generic little trinket enchantment I have out. Either way, this card can come into play early and mess you up. It can come into play late and mess you up. It also just might be one of those cards you never expect to see, but as an uncommon, you should expect to see this all the time. It may be a hard to get uncommon. This thing could hit that $5 to $7 level, depending on how they've placed on the track print, but insane. Now, let's go ahead and let's look at this from another point of view. Here's Relinquish Raid. Requisition Raid. I said relinquish, I meant requisition. You guys know what I meant. You're late in the video here. This thing has Spree as well. It's a 1 white, but then it has Spree +1, destroy target artifact, Spree +1, destroy target enchantment. Or if you have an extra mana, you can go ahead and put a +1/+1 counter on each creature target player controls, which means yourself. It means a friend. It means you can phone a friend and do crazy things in Commander. This thing is going to show up. This thing is going to be insane, and this thing's an uncommon. You can pay 4 mana, 3 generic and 1 white, and you can do this thing. You can make all those things happen. I can blow up this, I can take care of that, and my 20 tokens all get a +1/+1 counter. I'm not sure what they were thinking with cards like this. Because of the multitude of abilities, it just seems like it's a saga card on steroids. Because you don't have to wait a couple of turns to do it. I can do it all at once! That's just nutty. Oh, and by the way, you can copy spells, don't forget. The last card I want to share with you is 3 Steps Ahead. This thing's an instant for 1 blue, and again, it has Spree. This thing has 1 blue, 1 other, and you can now counter a spell. So it's kind of like cancel. So it's 2 blue +1, but you can also pay an additional 3. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. Well, that's insane, especially mid to late game, or maybe you don't want to counter things, but you might have a chance to counter and make a huge beastie. And then you pay another 2 and draw 2 cards and discard a card, so you can get some drawing ability. So in total, sure, you might be paying, 6, 7, 8 mana for this crazy spell. But depending on where you are in the game state, this thing gives you so many multitude of effects that you just can't pass up the possibilities of a card like this. And the fact you can pay 1 blue just to use it right away, even if you don't want to cast anything crazy, for 4 blue, you're going to be copying a creature. For 3 blue, you're going to be drawing a couple of cards and discarding, or you're just going to counter a spell. You have choices, and those choices, depending on where you are in the game, may be downright lethal. This might be just like a Planeswalker used to be, when they were so game-ending. You might be able to tackle somebody down, pin them in, and then cast a spell like this when they least expect it. I'm going to counter this, copy that creature, I'm going to draw a couple of cards, big, bing, bing, boom, boom, and then before you know it, there's nothing you can do about it. And you're just going to break their will to play. Cards like this are just insane to me. Maybe I'm just reading this all wrong. Maybe there's something I'm missing, and maybe these cards aren't as powerful as they seem to the Moxman. But I can't wait to see your opinions on this. I can't wait to see how players feel when they go to a pre-release and this stuff starts happening, because the pre-release is going to be epic. I can't wait. I'm going to show up with like 2 little toy cap guns with like the belt and the cowboy hat right out of a Toy Story, man. I can't wait to try this stuff out, because although I think the play booster boxes are way overpriced, and I know there'll be people who buy the collector boxes, I still think the pre-release is going to be epic. I think the power level of these cards for players to enjoy and play with them is like verging on power creep as far as I'm concerned, but I'm an old fogey player. You guys are going to let me know in the comments section how you feel about these cards. Is it madness, or is it just common sense that I'm not seeing? Either way, I can't wait to see how players feel about this and take a closer look at all these amazing spoilers they've been sharing with us. Because it's not always the artwork, It's the mechanic of these spells and what they do in the game that makes them so powerful. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out. Thanks for being here on the channel and hanging with the Mox, man. Don't forget, there's a couple of videos today. There's a few bonuses going on because it's like a holiday here in Canada. We got a stat holiday. It's called Good Friday, and I'm making good use of that Friday by giving you guys some extra content. Thanks again, guys, for hanging out with the Mox, man. I'll see you guys all tomorrow for another video. Have an awesome day. Oh, wait, tomorrow is the top 10. You're not going to want to miss the top 10 selling cards. I look forward to seeing you guys then, 11:15 Eastern Standard Time. Have a great one. Is this thing on? Can you guys see what I'm seeing? Do you see the different colors? You see all those amazing people? Those are called patrons. Patrons make the world go round. Because of the support of the people backing me on this channel, daily uploaded content happens. These are the patrons, my YouTube membership members. Because of all these amazing people, daily content every single day. Thanks again, everyone. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. You've made it to the Moxman's Nighttime Show, where I had so many thoughts and feelings I had to get out that I wanted to share that Ramble Jamble with you, because those cards look insane to me. I just get so happy. I'm calm. I'm just thinking about Thunder Junction and all the fun I'm going to have at the pre-release. Everything's okay. I need to sleep now. All right, guys, seriously, the set looks great, man. I'm not... The cards look like... There's still coffee in here. The cards seem like power creep to me, but I'm loving every minute of it. I'm seeing how I could integrate these into other decks I'm already working with to make more copies, more tokens, more things to get ahead. I like the ideas that my brain is formulating, and I just go, oh yeah, that's going to be good. Oh, that could be good. Oh, I can't wait to try that. I think it's going to be a little bit nutty, because the plot thing, you can really overload a counterspell deck and stop them from countering everything with just too many choices. As long as you can do things to limit their supplies, you can do crazy stuff in this upcoming set that's going to connect with other cards. I can't wait to try it out. That's what it is. I have to play it. I have to try it. I've got to feel the magic. Get it? You guys got it. Anyway, have a great one, man. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be awesome.